the who signed up for the actual starting of the live. I accidentally put the wrong date, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But we'll keep on schedule anyway, so let's get this out of the way. First, let me get what we're going to be focusing on is fabric mainly, just like how to draw fabric in general. But give me 2 seconds. I need a pen. So let's get this party started. Alright. Now we're going to be focusing on pipe folds. We're going to be focusing on diaper folds. So I'm going to start this over again. So I'm going to see if we can do this. So something with a tension point here and a tension point here. And what we're going to do is bring some waves like this. Or better yet, we should bring some waves like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, so I'm going to have to do this more deeper. Okay. Okay. So this is how, because this is very difficult in a sense, but for me, but like I'm still studying how to do clothing. So like, there you go. So we're going to be focusing how to draw fabric alongside our anime characters, but right now we're just trying to get warm up in right now. So if anyone has any questions, leave a question in the questionnaire. I'll answer your art question. Please be keep it wait, what's the right? Keep it what's that? What's that? I've never seen that before. Keep it on subject to what we're talking about, so I don't want to get too off-brand on what we're talking about, because our focus today is how to draw fabric and or clothing today, because that's something I've been really struggling with. So if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer them and try to learn it alongside with you, because that's what we're doing. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So technically we're drawing clothing, learning how to draw clothing based on what I know, and then I learn something from you guys if you guys know anything. So let's say, for instance, we have a ball, right? And we want this to be covered like that. But I hope everyone's having an awesome day, those who are coming in. And go like that. Okay. Like that, like so. But this time we're going to that. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Those who are coming in. We just started, so don't worry if you're not missing out on anything. I'm just going to get into the drawing of the characters in a second. I just need to get this warm-up in. We're going to be drawing some anime characters. Not characters that we know, but we're going to be drawing some dummies alongside our clothing. So that's what we're going to be doing. So, like before, I need to put this on the side. Cylinder up. And then cylinder down. Top, bottom. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well. Yo, what's up, man? Hey everybody. Hey Dark. Hey Red. What's going on, guys? We just started. We didn't get to anything yet. I'm just setting things up for you guys so we don't lose track of what we're supposed to do today. So top, bottom, and then we have our neutral. No, we keep it neutral in that sense. Square. Top, bottom. This is called a neutral state. That means there's not gonna be a lot of wrinkles, but there will be wrinkles, giving what you're trying to do on what you're trying to place on your drawings and on your clothing. Okay. So always keep that in mind. Okay, that. Okay, we're gonna need this, our top cylinder. We always make sure that when you have your top cylinder, that your wrinkles are gonna go down the opposite direction. So your wrinkles will be going down like this. They're gonna be going down from that direction, like going downwards. It's gonna be, the focus will be going down. And remember that when you're going, your wrinkles are going up, you're looking from the bottom of the cylinder, meaning the leg, the arm, even the stomach, the body, the neck, depending on the situation, but 9 times out of 10, more of the ligaments of the arms, the legs, the middle of the thing. So it's going upwards. Okay. Always remember that. And then when it comes to a natural state, depending what the fabric is from that point, it could be compressed and normal, or it could wrinkle a little bit here or a little bit here. It depends on the fabric and what's the action that is happening mainly. But this is based on perspective, and this one's based on just literally like natural state of the right eye line. So like this is more like eye line, and this one's more perspective or exaggeration of perspective. So like for shorten perspective. What?
My phone.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's what we have so far. Let me put there. That's for foreshortening. This is for bottom top. This is for natural eye line, the eye line, like the horizon line or so, where you're like at natural height of where you're supposed to be looking. So I'm gonna take this away. Now we're gonna put the different types of folding that we need to focus on when you're making your clothing, like the pipe folds. Pipe folds are mainly like this. Okay. Okay. That pipe folds are mainly like you're making a pipe and then you don't actually connect everything. You just kind of keep everything kind of open, but you have to have the pipe fold to be somewhat open in that sense, okay? So it'll, like a curtain. Think of a curtain. Like, this is not the only instance of making a pipe fold. There's other ways from different angles, but this is more like a simpler way of looking at a pipe fold. Okay, so that's one side of the pipe fold going like this, you know. Pipe folds in front can be like, okay, so like we make a line here, like more of the edges of anything, right? And then we make it like that. So what we're trying to do is give that 3D effect when you're adding these to your clothing, in a sense, so you understand the hemlines, like the 3D-ness. And to really get that 3D-ness, you gotta make sure your C's are like this. Like your C's are like front, and then in, front, in, front, in. That's how you get these 3D type lines, so you can make your pipe folds look more 3D. You gotta keep that in mind. Sometimes drawing in a certain angle does make it work better, because just drawing it sometimes doesn't really work. Sometimes you gotta hold your pencil a certain way, or your stylus, depending on what you're using. But 9 times out of 10, you can pretty much get away with it. You don't have to like break your finger or anything like that. You're not doing any crazy like angle, but like just try to hold it in a way that it keeps it dynamic. And the way to do that is like probably just hold it more slanted in that sense, and don't try to take over the pencil. Try to be as loose as possible with said pencil, or stylus, because if you try to hold it in a way that it's like over controlling, it's gonna look stiff and it's gonna look weird, and it's not gonna look right. So sometimes holding your pencils does make a difference in your drawing. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, please leave your questions in the questionnaire at the bottom right. I think right here. Yeah, right there. So if you have any questions in that sense or that regard, I'll answer your question. Now we're going this way. See how the angle looks now. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you guys can see better. Like about that. Like, so our pipes are going that way. Our pipes going this way. So we have that. There's other ways. I think there's one where you can do this thing where you have a ball, right? And then you bring the ball down, not the ball, but the cloth on top of the ball. And then what you can do is make some pipes folds. And remember, when you're making your pipe folds, try to be as loose as possible with it, because if you become loose and not try to control it, like I said before, you will have a better time of getting more natural lines than you trying to like force it to work. Because I've seen enough people try to force it to work way too much, like way too much, and then it will look kind of stiff. It's gonna look weird. Like, I'm not worried about the anatomy of it. I'm just trying to get the pipe folds to look as flowy as possible. I'll worry about the other stuff later. Okay, so don't worry about too much on anatomy on that right now of the cloth. Just try to be as natural as possible. Okay, now it looks like a spaceship now, right? Like a weird top, like not like a Beyblade, but like those spinning old classy tops, I guess, or something, or something you've seen in Inception. I think that's one, Inception, the spinning top that Leonardo DiCaprio uses in the movie, I guess, to represent that they're still in a dream or some crap. I think that makes sense. So I think it keeps spinning or something like that. So as long as the top is still spinning, therefore you are in a situation where you are still in the dreamland, okay? If I remember right. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, so don't get mad at me if I'm saying it wrong, please. If you want to correct me, you can. I'm not really sure if I'm saying the right stuff. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, or so. But thank you for the likes, I appreciate it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna focus on making a pose. I'm gonna focus on drawing a female. That's usually where I start first because that's where I specialize in. So we're gonna draw a female. I think we'll draw her from top half or something of her body, or like, oh no, I'll do it this way. I'll keep it easy like this, like a sideways thing, not so much to focus on. Okay, and I always remember, use the action line, and action lines are not your spine. Always remember that the action line is not your spine. It is your friend, but is not your spine when drawing the action line. Always be aware of this, because if you use it as a spine, you're going to have a very exaggerated character and you're not going to like it very much. Too exaggerated for your eyes can fathom. But if you want that saturated to the point that their back, it looks like they're being bented by the devil's gates, then go ahead, be my guest. But I don't think that's the greatest idea to do if you want your characters to look as normal as possible. So we're trying to keep this quite normal. Try to keep it quite fun. Okay. Now we're making the armpits, the shoulders, I guess. And we're going to make her arm go here and up. And up. Okay. Or maybe we should make her hands, make her fold her hands like this, right? We fold it. Okay. I always thought it was the spine. No, 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 it's that's why they never call it a spine. They call it an action line for a reason. The action line is there to emphasize what it's supposed to guide you, but it's not supposed to be part of the body of your character. You should never do that, because when you do that, you're gonna make it too saturated to the point that it doesn't look real, or it's not gonna feel natural. It's gonna be too exaggerated, and when it's too exaggerated, you're gonna have a problem. A lot of students tend to get that confused a lot because they think it's some form of spine, because I won't blame them, because most people try to draw the action line along inside the body of the character itself. So I don't really blame you for thinking that. I used to think that too, so it's not like you're off for thinking that at all. That's totally normal. I think that's something that a lot of artists, teachers should stop doing, and at least give them some heads up. Don't draw the action line as if it's a spine. It is not a spine. Okay? It is a guideline on how you're supposed to have it exaggerated, but not too exaggerated to the point that it's actually the line itself. The spine is the line itself. Because people tend to get that confused. But I understand why you would probably think what you thought. And you're not wrong for thinking that either, though. I used to think that too. So, you're good. I'm glad that you even said that, because a lot of people think that that thing is the actual, like, spine. Okay, now we got our body, our top half. I made the breast pretty big, but just to emphasize that. Okay. Alright, so we got our top half. So we can't even see it from there. Okay, so this can go any way we want now. Can you draw a military general wearing a cloak made of wolf pellets? And sadly I can't, because that's why we're learning how to draw clothing. Because like what I'm doing is killing two birds with one stone. Well, I'm teaching you what I know so far from drawing clothing, and I'm also trying to draw clothing as we go at the same time. So I'm killing two birds with one stone, so I can't really like promise you to draw a general like that. I can try my best, but then again, I wouldn't keep my hopes up on that one. Because I feel like my drawings when it comes to clothing is kind of like not up there. It's not up to par. So that's why we're focusing a lot on clothing, as not only as for me, but also as a whole as a class. So if you guys know anything, or you learned something from Earth class, did I say Earth class? Art class, I said Earth class, what the hell? Then it'll be very helpful if you want to share with everyone else. You might know something I don't, and then I can use that information to, you know, use it in future artworks. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the earliest of them all? There you are, Killer. I see you, bro. So let me see here. So we have our body here, and then we're gonna put another body next to this one. I'm gonna put probably a head. We're just focusing on the idea of a body, and we're doing this with the idea of, we're not trying to draw a character, we're not drawing no one we know, we're just trying to make a dummy recognizable enough to know that it's a human. Okay, and then we use that dummy for demos, as in drawing clothing on top of that body. Okay, like this. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then we're gonna make her body a little bit like this. I'm gonna make her hips go this way, just because I can. No special reason. I'm gonna try to keep it like this. I wanted to be as dynamic as possible with the body. What are you up to today? Today we're gonna be layering clothing on top of these bodies, but we're gonna try different fabrics. I would have had something ready for this, but I was having some technical difficulties with the computer, and I was kind of worried I was not be able to stream today, but I ended up able to, which was great. Also, we're trying to focus on how to draw clothing in general, so I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for everyone. So I'm just making these quick dummies so we can use them as props to focus on what we need to be focusing on. Because, like, ultimately, I'm not doing this because it's just that you guys need to learn this. Well, you guys will have to need to learn this. But it's mainly a study for me still, because I'm still trying to figure out how to draw clothing correctly. I think I'm getting slightly better as time goes, but not as fast as I want, so it is what it is. Like that. Now we're gonna make the armpits like this and like this. Now we're going to make this more of a crop top. I think that's something that a lot of girls like, wearing a crop top. So I'm gonna try my best to see if I can do it. So, okay. Drawing idea for later. Draw a merchant ship in the style of a Imperium? I'm not even sure how that looks, to be honest with you. An Imperium ship. That's something I gotta look up for reference just to check. I'm not really sure. Hold on. Like this. And I think the crop top will be more like that. Like, if I remember right, I think crop tops are like pretty like wide open. I think they're pretty like, I don't know, aren't they open like that? Impressionism is art movement. Okay, I see. I see what you mean. Hold on one second. Okay, now the pants. Like that, and then I think if we make it right, that. There we go. I think that's a lot more better now. But not as great, but it's better now in that sense. And then we put the button here to indicate that the crop top is like this. And I remember if crop tops are pretty wrinkly, if I remember right. My brain served me well. Would you mind throwing hair tutorials in there? Because I just started learning how to draw hair. Sure, I can do that. That's something I can do. Hold on. That's something I can definitely do. Okay. Okay, like this. Okay. And then I have to make the breasts make sense. I can't just make that here. I gotta make the breast make sense. Now, you see how it looks too robotic? That's where the problem's laying here. I need to make this more natural looking. Okay, like that. Okay. like that. Now let's make this here also a. Okay. Like this, and then okay, like that. And then we need another one. Stomach. That. Have you watched Demon Slayer? Yes, I have. I have seen Demon Slayer before. I watched the whole season, but not the movie yet, so... I think season 2 was just announced like a few months ago. Like that. And I think we can pull this down for this other half of the body. So we're making the legs and stuff. So we're gonna make the legs. Chainsaw Man anime to be released. It's such a long wait though, I know. But it's gonna be worth it. It looks like it's worth it, animation wise. So as long as it looks really good, I hope the anime is as good as the trailer says it is. Because I hope they didn't just give us a bunch of money shots and then it's not what it really is, based on the manga. And that's gonna be problematic. I think there's 2 animes that are pretty hype. I think it was Chainsaw Man, 2 new of those, Chainsaw Man and what was it? It was a soccer anime. Something blue. I forgot what it's called. It's something with the word blue in it, I think. And it's like haiku, but soccer. But more intense, I guess. I forgot what it's called. It starts with the word... It has the word blue in it, but something else. I forgot what it was called. It was blue something. Is it Bluebird? I think it's called Bluebird or something. Or I'm thinking about the anime, the Naruto song. It's blue something. You guys might know what I'm talking about, but or heard of it. It's an anime. Blue Lock. There it goes. Yes. Thank you, Nicholas. I got the basics right, but at different angles is a bit troublesome. Okay, so like, give me an example of an angle that you're having a problem with. I'll try to help you. Like a top-down problem. Or just any angle. Okay, like that. How do you draw heads? I literally forgot yesterday. The draw heads, you need to make sure that you're making the, what was it called? It was called the lupus method or luminous method. I forgot what it's called. It starts with L. But if you're, especially if you're a beginner, I think that's something that you should focus on, or if you're having trouble remembering. Let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way. So, 2 things, because since you asked for head and one asked for hair, I can probably knock them both out of the way. So you make a head, circle, or you can use a triangle. I think I'm gonna try and go a square. I think that will make life a lot more easier in that sense, and you'll see why. I'm gonna make a circle. I'm gonna make a circle here inside this circle. I'm gonna make a line inside this circle. I'm gonna curve this and make sure there's a straight line inside this, connecting my curving head. Okay. I'm gonna make a square just to keep things quite not leaning or anything like that. A 3D square. Okay. So it makes it more easier for me to understand it that way. Okay. How do you draw? Okay, just make sure I read that. You make the luminous head, circle, circle. Okay, make them connect. Depending if you're making a male's head usually is much longer, narrower, and then also, I think wider actually. It's more wider. And then you can do this thing with a 3D. Like this. You can do these 3D lines to give it more 3D in depth. I'm gonna try this now. Okay, good. And then you can give it eyes like this where those lines are, so you can feel more equally spaced in that sense. Okay. This one's a guy, you can tell by the way I'm drawing him. Okay. There we go. And then, yeah. Captain Topasuba is also a soccer anime and it has its own game. Yeah, I have heard of that, and it has a video game. The video game, I don't really hear anyone complain about the game. I don't know if it's out yet, but like last time I saw the game, it was on IGN, and they were showcasing the game. It looks like it plays like a typical sports game, but with anime. I've seen some crazy stuff that you can do in that game, like you can over dramatically like kick the ball and do these like weird not fight scenes, but like you can get into like a deadlock with people when trying to get the ball, or like there's situations where you can, I guess, catch the ball, but it's so dramatic and it makes the game of soccer look a lot more intense than it should, I guess, in an anime type style. So like it really, and the art style still stays the same for the anime and the manga itself, so like that's kind of awesome, you know. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So like you can do this with the long face, with a long face character. Oops, gotta go back. There you go. Or you can do this again with a small face character. You don't have to use the square. I suggest use a square. I should use it more often because it keeps things more in perspective in that sense. But you make another circle, and you make a circle inside this circle. Like this again, make a line, you curve inside, so this one's going to be lined inside the circle, line, look at like this, and line it inside that circle too. So when you do it, you can make sure everything's in place in that sense. Okay, let me turn this down a little bit. I know you guys can hear me pretty well over there on YouTube and Twitch. Now let's make the head like this. Okay. 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 Now, always remember when you're drawing female heads, compared to male heads, males' heads are either one thing. They're either longer, and their chin are usually flatter. 9 times out of 10, even if you're dealing with a young protagonist that is that's a male, they tend to draw them pretty female-esque in, like, let's just say anime in general, depending on the age group. But like, if he's like a teenage boy, 9 times out of 10, his chin will be a little more flatter compared to a female's chin. The female chin tends to point out more often. It used to point out and be more chubbier and much more wider, not as narrow as the males, depending on the situation. So like 9 times out of 10, your female characters will be under the impression of their chin being more pointy, a lot more softer, a lot more rounder in that sense. So that's something you have to look for when doing something like this. That's how you can distinguish the two. I can always distinguish two because one's dressed more like a box and the other one's more dressed like a circle, in that sense, based on the references towards the characters themselves. So if that makes sense, hopefully that does make sense to you. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please leave a thing. Now, we're going to get to the hair part, because of what Crazy acts. We're going to get to the point where we're going to draw hair on this character. Just to make sure, I always draw everything in scribbles because I'm not taking it as seriously when I should. I'm not trying to do no rendering or anything like that. I think if I keep it scribbly, it keeps you guys staying, because if I keep it all perfect and looking perfect as hell, it's going to discourage a lot of students. So I'd rather them feel more at home, watch me draw in this sketchy type, than me draw 100% perfect line-wise. Because remember, line sketching tends to give more of a safer security to those who are just beginning to draw, getting back into drawing, or not really sure. Because we use sketching as a form of, let me say, like, curiosity when trying to make something, or trying to not commit completely to the project because we're not sure if it's going to come out right. So we don't want to disappoint ourselves for not going all the way with the line art and stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying this. I could really take this as far as I want. Any tips for drawing the torso? We was just talking about that. We'll get that in a second. I'll come back to that in a second because I have to get back to that. But we both have the male and female. Please stay here, Hacker. I'll get you on that in a second. I'll explain it to you. Okay, so I would do this thing where I would make a line here and try to make it as lineful as possible. It has that 3D effect. Always put those what do you call it, ellipse lines on your character. It makes it easier to make them look more 3D alongside the 3D-ness that you already put inside. And remember, the reason why you make these circles inside of the character is because you're trying to get that 3D-ness, because the head is not totally round like that. Your head is not totally round. It's actually not as round as you probably think. It has its roundness, but it's not a complete circle as you probably may think. Especially not a perfect circle, but it's a circle nonetheless. Okay, so I'm gonna pull her over here a little more closer to our friend Steve. I'm gonna name Steve after Steven Blue's Clues, because Steve is making a comeback this week, apparently. So let's just call this guy, hold on, Steve. I'm gonna call this one Maya. I think that's fine. So we got Steve and Maya. So what we're gonna do is give Maya some hair. So when you're drawing hair, always have two things in mind. Never draw strands of hair like this, because it's gonna take forever and you're gonna get frustrated, especially if it's not looking the way you want. number one thing, you should always put a point of reference. The point of reference is where the hair is coming from. And you must be wondering, but Jace, what if the dot's like too far away from the head? That's good, because what you're doing is making enough space between the skull, the hair, and the forehead as much as possible. You don't want to be too far away, because you're gonna have a problem. So, I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to actually yell in your ear, I'm so sorry about that. So you draw it in chunks, like, you draw it in chunks for now, especially at the beginning stages. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if this was a bang, and then I went like this. Or, like, if my hair went up in the air like this, right, I would draw it like a big, shape. You don't want to draw this in strands. So when you draw it in strands, it's gonna look weird. Like, it's gonna look like this. And you're drawing every single strand on your head, and it's gonna look like you have Justin Bieber hair when he was like a teenager, so you don't want that. So you want something that's doable. I suggest look at some references if you're having trouble. There's a bunch of them. Okay, so like for instance, I'll make the hair go like this. Okay. Or like, if you don't like the hair, you can always go short. There's always ways to go to make your female's hair short or your male's hair short. It's possible. Especially you're trying to give them like more of a boy cut for your female for whatever reason. So that's something you could always try out. Like if your female has hair like this, like she's a punk rocker, or if you want her to have like let me say like a what do you call it? Not a mullet. What do you call it? Like a shaved hair. I think to get shaved hair, you gotta make sure that this angle, that this angle is not of the far left. What you're supposed to do is put them in the middle. Okay. Or you can do it like this. There's two ways of doing it actually. There's like this way. Okay. Okay. And then you use that to curve more of that. So you can allow this to happen if, as long as you know what you're doing. You have an idea what you're doing. It can still go a long way, even if you're not really sure what you're doing. But as long as you have an idea, you can probably get somewhere. Okay, so we like the hair like this. So that. So there's so many ways to draw hair on this certain stance. Or you can make her have the hair on one side and have the fur hawk on the other. I've seen girls do that, but if that's something you don't want to do, crazy. If you just want long hair, just keep it quite simple. Don't try to make it overly complicated if you don't have to. Especially if you lack experience. Especially if you lack experience in that sense. Always be aware of that. Okay. It's not like that. It's not perfect, but it's something like that. Okay. There you go. So we can keep going in that sense of what I'm trying to do. I hope that answers your question, Scary. You said I am drawing short here till I understand how to it work. Yeah, I think I suggest start small, understand where the short hair is coming from, and then you go to strands. Don't go to strands and then short hair. Alright, so let me see here. So we keep in line with that. Okay. Now we're going to build some character models. Okay. So like that, and then this. Okay. Like this, and then we make a little bit of put this down. One of those pipefuls I said before. We need to understand pipefulls. If we don't understand it, we're not going to make a good understanding of what we're doing. Okay, like that. Or so. Hello, Una. So that's something we can try. Okay. Okay, like that. Then we put our character's hand right here. I don't know what she is, and I'm teaching. Okay, anyway. So, we'll put our legs here and here. And to always know when you're drawing a character, whether it be a pose or what the case may be, please be aware to keep them balanced, or to know that they're balanced without them leaning or whatever the case may be. Always put a line right down the middle of your character, okay? The closer the light is, the more likely the weight is on that particular leg. So like if the line is either on top or the closest to the leg that's there, that means that's where all the weight is falling. And sometimes this can happen where you don't want the weight to be falling on that particular leg because it's gonna look weird. Like if you wouldn't lean on your leg if there was a ball coming at you at right or something like that. You would use your right leg to stop it, right? You would use your left leg. That's what happened to me technically. Alright. So we're going to add more to the leg here, but we're going to add a little bit more meat, like this. Okay. And then we're going to... What's this? Okay. Yes. Now the knee here, that's not the knee's right here. Because I always have to make sure that the knee and the ankles are always the same no matter how far each other are. They usually are the same no matter how far they're staying next to each other or so. So always keep that in mind. Okay. So these are things you have to keep in mind when doing this. So let's bring it down like this. Okay. So the more that we keep focusing on clothing, the more we're going to get better at this, but I think our issue is that we're focusing too much on the actual like the pose itself. So I'm gonna go back to what we was doing earlier. I'm just gonna use these as dummies for right now because trying to make a whole new pose for the sake of pose is not making any sense. So we got these bodies. Okay. Oh, look at that. The leg is too... like that, yeah. Okay, that's one way of doing it. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some clothing on these characters. Well, not characters, but these dummies. So like, for instance, if we was to draw like I only draw short here. Okay, if we were to draw like, I don't know, a skirt on this one, particularly on this one, I have to make sure of the gravity. Gravity plays a big part in this. Okay. Okay. That's one way of doing that's one way of doing the skirt. Okay. And then we put it like this. And then remember, because her center of gravity is going down, and then this is poking straight up, that means the tension is coming from down here, from up here. It's literally the ass itself. So like since this is bent, what's happening is that the skirt is going to be falling, but it's going to be being held up. So we need to make sure that once that it feels comfortable for her, so we can get her out of there. Understand how to put these in here, like putting the pipe folds. Now from Zoe Ting, she mentioned many times, as those of you who remembered from our last session online, that Zoe Ting uses something called pipe folds. And pipe folds and diaper folds are your friend, or well, I'll just say I'm saying the wrong thing. Hemlines, sorry, hemlines. Hemlines are your friend. They're pretty much ellipse lines, but they're pretty much made for understanding where the human body should be wrinkling at best. Okay, so like, how do you use them? So like, when you make these lines here, you go along with the body of the subject. So what does that mean? For demonstration, see this leg? So what will happen is that when I draw the leg like this, or like this, you'll be looking up at her. You're more looking up than you're looking down. You don't look down, you look up, because we're seeing the top of the cylinder. That's why. And you must be wondering, where is the cylinder coming from? The cylinder is just there as a placeholder to let you know the perspective of where you're looking at the individual. So like, for instance, if I'm looking at, say, the knee, it doesn't change perspective. See? We're still looking at from a top bottom. I mean a top angle. So we know we're looking from the eye line is over the top of the head somewhere. She's probably high up. She's probably here, if anything. So just to add more to it, so like right now I'm curving with the body. I have to curve with the body. If you don't curve with the body, you're gonna have a problem. So I curved again with the body. Not against it, but with it. I am now incredibly weak because, let me see here. Let's see, like that. That. So now we're looking from the bottom, and I'm not doing this on purpose to make it like that's how it's drawn. So if I were to draw the same thing, it would still be the twins, or at least two of the same person. That's because of the ellipse line. The ellipse line let us know. So like, for instance, since we're looking from bottom of these barrels or cylinders, what's happening if I were to make a cylinder right now? Like literally you just do. Okay, so let's get out of this. Really like that. Okay. And because of that, we can see the bottom of it. Everything that we see is under the rule of the king. Okay, like this. Or better yet, because of the angle of the arm, we're not looking, well, the way the arm is placed, we're looking from probably, this is weird, I think this arm was drawn wrong, this one, but it seems like from here, like from bottom we're seeing it, but I don't think we'll be able to see it from here. I'm not sure. I don't think you should be able to see from there, so I'm gonna assume it's still from bottom. Or it's probably neutral for all I know. Now what we're gonna do is make like that. Okay. Okay, so as far as I see it, these are the things we have to pay attention to. And the reason why you make these barrels, for those who don't know, you make these type of barrels because you want to know what direction the wrinkles are going. Since we can see the bottom, the wrinkles are going upwards. they always go opposite of what you're seeing of the cylinder. So if your cylinder is going up top, you're going to go down bottom naturally and probably most likely. If your character is like top, like bottom top, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to come up here like a wrinkle, like a what do you call it, a something lock. I think it's called a half lock. I think that's what they call it. I think it's about 30 different 30 or 20 types of folds that's in the world that we already know. I think we know already like a good 5 of them, 6 of them, 7 of them. So yeah. So like, for instance, when you want to make a fold, always make sure that you're making triangles, because triangles help you. And also, when you're making your folds, make sure you have bumps that kind of connect to them. So like, for instance, if I were to make a bump of clothing like this, like a bunch of bump clothing like this, it's gonna feel more realistic if I kind of like did something like that. So it feels more like the outfit has more of a weight to itself, I guess, or it has more of a depth to itself. So let's put it that way. And I know much girls love to gnaw on their boyfriend's arm, so you can look closely at this when they like to jump on their arm. You can look at certain situations where you can see like an outfit is little shades on clothing. Yeah, and little shades like comes through and it brings it more realistic in life and stuff like that. But I'm not focusing on shading or anything, because I like just drawing it in general is like more, it's just as or important to know. So let's, for instance, make this shirt. Let's give this character a shirt. And there's a lot going on in this particular character. If you guys can see it well, I'll give it more life. Okay, so given the character, I'm gonna bring back this dummy. What's gonna happen is that I'm going to give her a t-shirt. And because she's wearing a t-shirt, it's gonna wrinkle it's gonna wrinkle a lot where it's supposed to be, like here. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna bring the shirt in. And remember, the looser the shirt, the more folded it's gonna be. This, and then the arm is like coming like this, right? And then we have the arm like this coming through. We gotta make sure that we put a little bit of wrinkle here, because remember, there's wrinkling coming on through this character's arm. Okay. Now, I want this to be more loose, but not too loose to the point that it looks ridiculous or looks strange. So I want to bring more of a looseness to the stomach, like this. You see how I put this line right here to indicate that there's depth in that sense. Like, if I'm right, I think we're seeing the top of the stomach, the stomach, and because we're seeing the top of the stomach, oops, we're seeing the top of the stomach, that Since we see the top of some, everything's going downwards. That's what I mean, sorry. I had a literal brain fart for like a split second. I didn't know what the hell I was saying. There we go. Okay, like that. Okay, like that. Neck like this. Okay. So we made the shirt a little bit more like loose in that sense, but I think it's a little too loose to the point that it looks kind of heavy. You can kind of see it. But I'm gonna give it a pass for now. So what we're gonna do next, I said I was not gonna do this, but since I kind of did that pretty fast, I'm gonna put in the colors for this character. Or I want to say character for this dummy. There. All right. Come on. Okay, like that. So we have all that. And I think the best way to do this is make sure that the colors are not clashing too much with each other, because this is something important to know. It's really easy to fall in that trap, because if you don't know what type of colors you're using, if you're going too dark, you're gonna go way too dark when you try to put in the shadows, and you can't be able to do what you need to do. If you go too light, I think you gotta find somewhere in a straight medium when it comes to coloring, if anything. So like, I'll bring a little bit down like that. I think that's fine. It's not too dark, it's not too bright, it's somewhere in between, so it keeps things on the baseline, which is great. So what we're gonna do is put some shading right now. I'm gonna go down and then bring it down a little bit, bring down some shading. Okay, like that. Now it's interesting now because we put the blue in there. Like, ever heard the saying that warm shadows make cool colors, and warm color, no, I think it's called warm colors make cool shadows, and cool shadows make warm colors. I think that's how the saying goes. Based on what I think I remember. Okay, so I want to put more emphasis on this. Alright. Alright, and then we're going to darken the areas where we need, I think, in my opinion. Then we're going to bring down this blue, bring down like that, and bring some, I'm going to bring the soft brush into this one. Okay. So it feels more realistic in that sense. Do you blend the shadows with the light green, or do you leave it like that? Yes and no, depending on how, when you say blend, you mean the edges, right? Not the actual color. I think that's what you mean by like the actual, the color or the edges. Because that's what I kind of blend sometimes, but not completely. So like, for instance, as an example, I'll use, I'll show you in a second. I'll use this method where I will just erase most, not all, but some of the hard edges, because I don't want it always so hard. I wanted to have a mix between soft and hard edges in that sense. So I'll get to that in a second. That answers your question, so let me get to that part. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I sometimes erase it, so I go to here. Oops. Oh no, I did something stupid. I actually put, damn it, I actually put the wrong thing on the wrong layer. Damn, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. Number one thing never do, kids. Never put the same colors on the same layer, because you're gonna have a hell of a time. Oh damn, I did not know that. If I knew that, I would have never done that. That's why you have to pay attention and be looking what you're doing. So if you don't, you're gonna make mistakes. And then I'm gonna get our main light. Okay, and then I'm going to make this a big. I'm gonna take this and blend. Okay. That. Okay. I don't want it that bright to the point that it's like that. I don't like it when it's like that. And I saw I had a teacher, not a teacher, but I've been learning from a teacher on YouTube. They sometimes use the lasso tool like this, and then they use a soft brush. So what they do is they use a soft brush and the lasso tool to give it a sense of hardness and softness at the same time. So, for instance, if you don't want to use like a brush or a case may be, that's their way of showing you on how there's a different way of doing this. So just doing it the old long way, I guess you can consider it being the long way. That makes sense. Okay. So it's like something like that, you know? So that's the type of stuff you'd be looking for. But right now, we're gonna take this away. What I'm gonna do next, we're gonna draw an actual character. I think that'll be a lot more engaging. So if I just make a bunch of poses, I don't think no one's gonna really care for that. So I'm gonna try my best to do one of, I guess, Elreka. So one of Elreka. And I'll have her wear different outfits, so it's just not a fan art and with me just doing a fan art. So I'm gonna have her look up like that. Okay. Let's do this fast. See, what I'm right now not focusing on, as I've said many times in past live streams, I'm not focusing on the accuracy of this character. I'm just focusing on just getting the overall idea out right now. I'll worry about the accuracy later. You can always adjust that later. Everything can be adjusted over time. That's at least the best thing about like non-traditional drawing. You can always use digital art and you can always do it that way. So you don't always have to worry about, oh, am I doing it correctly? You can always do it later. Never worry about proportions first because you're just going to waste your time. You're going to get frustrated yourself, especially if you have a hard time with proportions. All you need to do is get the idea out first. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it, thank you. Okay. That, and I'm going to make her legs like this. Make her legs like that. Now, as you can see that the body is a little bit too, it's not emphasized hard enough, so we need to fix that. Okay, like that. Okay. And I drew the neck a little weird. I drew it like in this weird tube, when really I was supposed to draw it like this, and then curve it like this. So the character will be looking more that. Okay. Now she's gonna have her breasts like this. I want her breasts to be out like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna fix this. Now we're gonna get into like the proportional side of things because I'm gonna try to keep it flat. Now the kneecaps are hooking way too far up, so we need to keep it quite down. Okay. I was thinking, yo, she's making me act up. hey Jake, what's going on, man? I hope you're having an awesome day. What's going on, man? Any questions for me today, bro? I'm back. Welcome back, Dark. Like this. Okay. That, and then what we're gonna do is try to make this neck. That, and then we don't even see the arm, that arm, so we don't want to see that. Okay. Now make the other arm not this big thick thing. Okay. How's life, Jace? Life is good, I think, pretty good. Right now, we have a goal of trying to get to that YouTube, to get that 1,000, so I can make YouTube videos again. That's my goal. So, we can get to YouTube and make YouTube videos, so I'm hoping that we can reach the 1,000. We're at 661, I think. So, hopefully we can get to that point, because I have some great ideas for YouTube I'm saving up. because once we hit 1,000, most of my time will be focused on the YouTube, the Patreon, and making small quick tips on TikTok. But mainly the YouTube. Here. Also, thanks for the compliment on my art. It means a lot. No problem, bro. No problem. You're getting better. I can see it, which is awesome. I hope my methods are helping at least you in any way. If they're not, then let me know. Because if they're not, then I'll have to think of different ways of different strategies on how to teach. That. That. What's the software? It is Clip Studio Paint. That's the software I'm using to do this. I shouldn't be using such a thick brush to do this, but because you guys can't see it that well, I have to do it this way. Like that. Also thanks for the comment. Okay, they are. Yes, that's awesome, bro. I'm happy that you are. And I'm happy that they're helping because, like, it's... I don't know, like... I'm getting real hyped towards the YouTube because I wanna make better, more engaging videos. Because I look back at my old videos and I'm like, they're kind of boring. Yo, I showed the convention artist my old versus new with them, and they are saying I'm getting a lot better. Give me a few years and I'll be there too. That's great. I'm glad for you, bro. I'm so glad for you. I'm so happy for you, bro. That things are turning out for you well. Hold on. So, let me see. Hold on. Trying to... Okay, that's it. So, the breast is like that. And then we have... like that. Okay. Alright, a lot better in a few years. Like I said, I'm gonna get that Arc Lab with you someday. We'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely get around to it, bro. I promise. That'll be fun. That'll be awesome. Okay, let me see. This, and then we put the leg here. I'm trying to figure out, like, the way this leg looks, it's not looking as natural as I want it to. That's where I'm having some difficulty here. And this happens a few times, so, like, it's not looking like a leg, it's looking more like this. It looks like a leg, but it doesn't look natural as I want it. But I'll have to leave it be. Alright, so I'll have to erase this part. Okay. That. Let's try and make her hold her arm. why does this song sound like a ripoff of Shine Bright as a Diamond? Okay, there we go. I can see the natural struggle doesn't have a lot of flow as it could have, but maybe it's the pose you choose for the girl. Well, then again, I'm translating this pose to this pose. So like, you can see that this is more of a little girl, and mine's more of an adult woman. So the curve I can see, it's more like a down curve like that. Mine's more like, so we need to do this. Or something more like, we need more of a that. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to curve this like that. So I'm gonna take this butt. Okay. Oops. And the neck. And I think the neck's too long. Jason, I'm thinking of next year I'm going to take on a 100-day challenge where I have one what? Wait, maybe it'll be the pose for the girl. Jason, I think next year I'm going to take on a 100-day challenge where I have a one-on-one complete drawing every day, not for the week, but okay, that sounds like a crazy challenge. I would like to see you do that. I want to see your progress. You should always make sure they put a number next to the drawing for the day or so to see how much you have done, so you can keep track of it. You don't have to count, you can just put the number next to it, you know? That'd be fun. There we go. Okay, teach me how to draw clothes. I will. That's what the whole point of this is. So, I'm drawing... I don't know if all of you know, but I'm trying to get Elreka in here from Elreka 7. So what we're gonna do is draw her, and then add a bunch of clothes on her. That's the goal of this. That's why I'm doing this. So it's basically like a fan art dummy thing that we're doing. So, and then someone asked about hair, so we might add that. So what I'm gonna do, make this red. And then this time I'm gonna use a thinner brush, not something so thick. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay. I will be levels above where I'm at. I like having a forward-thinking mindset. Nice. Teach me how to draw clothes. I will. Yeah, so we're gonna be adding... I'm glad that you are motivated, bro, because as long as you keep yourself motivated, you'll reach where you need to be. Probably faster than you think. Okay. Now we're gonna add legs. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put it back that way. Okay, wish I could stay, but I gotta go. Okay, later, bro. Thank you for being here. Jace better teach than Mark really. I don't think so. I definitely can't say that. Not even close. I don't think so. Not me. I'm an amateur compared to him when it comes to teaching. I'm still trying to figure out this whole teaching thing. As I'm going, I'm supposed to have like things ready and prepared for these type of things, but since I have to run with a budget on how things going, because before I had something ready, but like the equipment went left, so I had to improvise with what I had for right now. So I can't say I could ever be as good as him, but he is a great teacher though. I've learned a lot from him though, over my years of being on YouTube and stuff, or using YouTube, or so. But nowhere close. Nowhere close, I say. Okay, now we got our arm. Okay. Now, let me put it through here. Oh, no fear, for I am here. Hello, Bean. Hey, XJ. To watch over thy chat. Okay, hon. Alright, so let's get this body in. This body was supposed to be of Elreka, from Elreka 7, but I think I'm gonna just keep it as a dummy for right now. I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Like that. There we go. Now let's add some clothes on this character and how we're gonna do this. Number one thing we have to look for is the type of clothing, what clothing we're going with, what is genre of clothing, is it street clothing, is it ballet clothing, it could be any type of clothing that we're going for, so we must be cognizant of that. Okay. And then let's make her arm bigger, because that looks really strange. Or she's holding a sack of like a shirt or something. It doesn't look like an actual arm she's hanging onto. So like, let's put it like this, and then a little bit of the arm like that. That's a little bit more better than it was looking before. Okay? I'll protect from the trolls. Gotcha, hun. Oh, cute. Okay. Now, let's put it this way. So we're going to turn this down again from before. We had a thicker version of this, but we're going with a thinner version. And our focus right now is to put clothing on this character. So we're gonna put clothing, and we're gonna start off pretty normal. First, we can see that she's wearing somewhat of a tank top, so we're gonna emphasize that it's gonna be like this. A tank top, if anything, it's gonna be pretty... It won't be tight, but then again, it will be fitted to her body pretty well. So we're gonna keep, like, things quite easy. And I think I'll make it even loose, though. I'll make it loose enough. Okay. Like this, and then we make a little bit of something like this. A little bump. Okay. Right. And then it's wrapping around the body, so what happens is, since it's gonna be kind of loose, and remember what I said, depending on how the body is drawn, you can always use the ellipse method, like this. So let's go back a little bit. So if you can make the ellipse method like this, 9 times out of 10 you're going to see the body from up top, based on how it's drawn. So we're looking at it from a top-down angle, somewhat like a slightly tight top-down angle. And because we're watching from a top-down angle, our wrinkles will be more forward downwards. Okay. So that's our goal, if anything. How was your day, hon? Question, are you using... No laptop. Using a desktop. But you can use laptop if your laptop allows you to, like, I guess write on it. Like a tablet, like those tablets that turn into a laptop, I guess. If that makes any sense. That's one way you can do it. Oh yeah, when you're drawing your clothing, to show separation between the body and the clothing, you can always make it darker, like make it darken some edges here, so you can see it. It doesn't matter what type of desktop. Clip Studio Paint works with virtually any software. I don't know if it works with Linux, but I know for a fact that it works for Mac. It works with anything that allows you to draw on the tablet. So you gotta get one of those computer tablets. I have recommendations already on my Instagram, so you just gotta go to my Instagram and you can get your recommendations there. It's under the same name. If you don't know where to find it, you can literally go to my profile, click on my profile, and it will take you straight to my Instagram. So you don't have to go and look or ask. How are you, XJ9? Okay, now we have the outfit the way we want it. Okay. He's using a computer. Yeah, I'm using a computer. But the computer I'm using, I'm using a tablet that's connected to the computer. So, the computer didn't come with this screen. I had to get this from a friend. I bought this screen off a friend to hook up to the computer. So if you're wondering if this came with the computer, it didn't. I had to buy this from a friend for this to work. Okay, like that. Just like that. And what brings you to the stream, XJ? 9. And then I'll erase that in there because I didn't mean to put a shirt in on there. Because there's no shirt, it's just cleavage. So that's one way I draw outfit, but I feel like the outfit's a little bit too... It's too, like, flowy-ish. Okay? Okay, like that. Like this. Like that. And then we make the pants. The pants is gonna be weird because it's coming from an angle that I'm not really too familiar with, but I'll try my best to make it work. Since she's wearing shorts. I wanna make sure that this works well. Okay, like that. That. And if I remember right, this is gonna be wrinkling towards the bottom. Okay, there we go. So we pretty much have her in her pajama pants in a sense. She's like in shorts and a tank. All right, that's one way you can get her to wear an outfit. Now to flip another way, we can do one with that's kind of basic. But if we were to put her on actual clothing, like, I don't know, like a skirt or something, let's just say something more frilly, I guess. Like, oh, thank you for the likes, hon. I hope your day is going well. So she's wearing a skirt, for instance. We will have to use our pipe folds. Remember I said pipe folds are our friend? It's what I said before. We use them as pipes. Remember, draw them as like pipes. If it makes it easier, like a pipe, like a literal pipe. If you can draw them like a pipe. Like, I wonder if I can do this. I'm just trying something new right here. Okay. Do it again. Up, down, up. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is connect it to here. Okay. And then I'm going to loosen it that way by going this way. Right? And then that or something. So we can use that as a way to connect that. And then we erase the ones that are not close. Like this. You could do it like this, but like, I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit too much of a problem because like you can see how it feels so like blah. You don't want that. So that was one method I was trying to do that didn't work, but that's fine. That's okay. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Like this, and then we'll do it again like this, but this time, and always remember something. The way the way for the skirt to hang on, the way that the stomach is, how it wraps around the stomach, the way this looks will be the way the skirt will look. So if it's swooping like this towards the floor, it's gonna swoop the same way towards the floor. Believe it or not, that's a thing. That's a pro tip. So like if you wrap around the body, just how I taught you how to wrap around your cylinders, the way that is naturally wrapped around the body will go the same route, same direction of the wave, the same way for the skirt to fall. But remember, the skirt doesn't grow when you want to rake off the butt. It just really just falls. And the length of the skirt is the same length as it goes up, so like this. It doesn't, these two will always be the same length. That means it doesn't go higher or lower than it's supposed to be. That makes sense. If you're confused, I'll explain it better. Okay. Now she wears this. Now this can work compressed the way it is because it could be a jeans jacket, a jeans skirt, and they're more stiffer and they don't wrinkle as much. If anything, they fold on the body. So what we can do is give her a skirt, and the skirt is going to do this thing where we're going to make it, erase it a little bit, and then up. How did she do it last time? She did like this, and then, okay, I remember now. It was like this, down, up, down, up, down. So what this does is we're going to make pipe folds like this. So it feels more natural the way it's supposed to be. Okay. I think it's kind of like this. Like that. Alright. So we're gonna add something a little extra, like an accessory this time. We're gonna give her some of a sweater. And her sweater is gonna be like this. Actually, no, not even a sweater. We're gonna give her a scarf. And a scarf tends to be really, really thick. Remember that. And because it's thick, it tends to wrap around the body like this. Gotta be really careful on how to do this because it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. And it gets me. That's why I don't like trying to do accessories, but I'm gonna force myself to do it. That's how you get better at drawing. You gotta force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to draw. So you draw the things you don't want to draw, they'll come handy when you need them. Remember me? Yes, I remember you. I remember your profile. I remember how that looked. I remember you. Don't remember the question you asked, but I remember you being in here. Okay, like that. Okay, like that. And then because this is leaning on the body, we have to make sure we're being cognizant of that. Like that. There we go. Yay! So what brings you back to the stream? Do you want to learn something today? Is there something you would like to learn? Okay, there we go. Hope all's well, bro. How you feeling? Doing well, bro? I hope you're doing well as well. I'm saying well a lot. So, what's going on with you, my friend? Okay, let's make this shirt like, that. Make this jacket a lot more. So I just drew this character, and she has, I have her wear a sweater. I know it's kind of hard to see, so what I'm going to color in so it'll be easier to see. Okay. So you can see it easy. So what we're gonna do, does the thickness of the fabric affect the clothes as well? Yes, it does. Because if you're drawing a jacket, the jacket has to be thick in its nonsense and in its behaviors. If you're just drawing a jacket and you're doing a bunch of lines that doesn't make any sense, then you're gonna get a jacket that doesn't look like a jacket. So you have to make sure that the jacket, you have to be sure of what kind of jacket it is. Is it a leather jacket? Is it a spring jacket? Is it a winter jacket? And yes, these things are important, believe it or not. If you don't know how like a regular jacket behaves, you're gonna draw something that doesn't even look like a jacket, or if you do draw like a jacket, you're not gonna have it behave like a jacket. See how I have this one? Because the jacket I made is extremely like thick and huge, and because it's thick and huge, the thickness away from the jacket, the thickness away from the jacket is more far away from the body. So your arm is going to be in here, but it's not going to be dead in on the outfit. Like, but if it's like a leather jacket, if this was a leather jacket, then it'll be much more closer to the body and be wrinkling in its own way and compressing at the same time. It'll be compressing and wrinkling on two different sides. So like the way I have this drawn, you can see. Okay, let me see. Maybe I can just color it in. That'll be easier to see. So, how do I draw a dude draping his jacket? Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just color this in and I'll get to that. I want to get that shade in. Alright, so for instance, if you want something draping, can I have it written? Yeah, I have it written. What's gonna happen is that I do need that. Okay. So like, draping. The word draping, let me see. How do I draw a dude draping his jacket? I think draping is when they hold the jacket with 2 hands like this and they're trying to shake off the water. Is that what you mean? Let me see. Does the thickness of the... Okay, I am okay, bro. Trying to come up with an OC. Hopefully that collab is still on the table. Would love to work with you on a project. Oh, that'd be nice. What exactly you're trying to make? Like, what is the character? Let me see. How do I draw a dude? No, sleeves in your arms. Oh, like if I had a hand like this. Let's just say I drew a hand. And the arm is out like this. Just say that's the arm. And then you have the, let's just say, a jacket. Depending on what type of jacket it is. Say if it's like a, I guess a leather jacket. I guess the leather jacket will be like it's gonna be, it's gonna be more close to the body. This. I don't know that you can make a jacket like that drape. You rock, bro. Thank you. I'm trying to draw that guy. Oh wait, just search up Tokyo Avengers. Oh, like Mikey. Okay, let me see. Tokyo Avengers Mikey. Oops. Mikey. Oh, okay. So like, let me make a file here. So like if I had Mikey, I'm not even drawing Mikey, I'm just gonna draw the body and just keep this fast. Come on, load up. I'm just gonna draw this real fast. Okay, so if I were to draw this the way I'm drawing it, not perfect, but we're just trying to get to the draping matters of things. I want to make this a little bit more accurate when I'm drawing this. Like that. And then like that. And if that. Okay, so since I think if I remember right, if I look closely at this, Mikey's jacket here from Tokyo Revengers, based on your reference here, it's more, I will say find it more leather-ish, I guess. I don't know if the material will be more leather. I'm pretty sure it would. And because it would be more leather, hey Wolfie, if it would be more leather, that probably might mean that probably might mean if it's more leather that it's going to wrinkle in certain situations, but not all that much. What are you doing? Right now I'm getting a lesson on how to draw clothing, but right now I'm trying to make sure I can drape this better than I am drawing this. So I'm trying to... Okay. Okay, so like that. Okay, it's not gonna just fall off like that, so... Lag is real. Oh, I feel bad for you, bro. I'm sorry about that. Come to TikTok over here. It's no lag over here. I don't think there's any lag. I don't think anyone's experiencing any lag when I'm on TikTok. I don't know if you have one, but just throw them over here on TikTok. It'll be easier, I think, on you. But if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you right now. I would send you to Instagram at least, but I don't have a phone for Instagram right now. I'm trying to save that for later. No, there's no lag. Yeah, there's no lag over here on TikTok. So if you want to jump over here on TikTok, that'll be much easier.
I need a charger. How much?
Which one? Which one?
On this one, the iPhone.
Just take it.
I'll be back.
Okay. And then I think the V-neck will be here. So like that's mainly what I see here, because we're focusing on the draping of the outfit. So the draping of the outfit, especially like if you can think of like, I guess Jotaro from what do you think? What do you call it? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure can be a great understanding of this. Oops. That. That. I'm here. Don't know for how long though. It's alright, Wolf. Thank you for coming in though. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So like, I don't know by the material. I think the material's leather. It would still wrinkle in certain situations, but not that much. It'll compress mainly from like here and here, I think. Because if this is a basic robe we're talking about, then it will wrinkle, depending on what type of robe it is. But given that Mikey here is wearing some type of soldier outfit, not soldier, like a old, I guess Japanese, soldier, biker outfit, it seems like it would only compress in certain situations like here and here. When I say compress, that means there's no wrinkles. It's literally just straight, like fine. But like, it would only wrinkle around the arms because since they're just flailing around, they're gonna wrinkle. They're gonna move in some form. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. So I think that's one way I can see where the wrinkles will come through. No problem. So if you have any questions, Wolfie, please drop a question. If anyone has a question, I'm willing to answer your questions. Questions are nice. Don't think your questions are dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Yeah, Bean is here to help. She's my moderator. She always helps. She helps me. Okay. And then if I was right... Okay, there we go. So yeah, I think what will happen here is that what will happen here, if this was like a regular like Japanese like jacket or like just a robe in general, this is how it would probably look in its behavior of how it would wrinkle and how it would behave. But since he's wearing a leather jacket, I think there'll be more compressing on certain areas. I've been doing what you said with the reference to draw it, then don't look at it in reference and to draw it. Has it been helping you? Hey Ashar, welcome back, bro. How do you take more time drawing? How do you take more time drawing? I would, if you're asking where do I find time to draw, then I just, the more you take time, like, okay, I would do drawings like, okay, say if you have to go to work, right? But you have a lunch break, try do a drawing within your lunch break, but don't try to draw like a masterpiece. Try to draw something quick and easy so you get yourself still in that mindset of drawing. That's one way you can do it. Or like, either if that doesn't work, you can always like wait till when you're off work so you have time to actually focus. So you have to make sacrifice. Like ultimately there's no like secret way, you just have to make sacrifices. I just made an origami video and I edited clips to the beat of the music. Nice. How you liking it so far? I think it is, but I have school, so I have been able to do it as much as I like. I understand. It was about to say I'm going to TikTok. Okay. I understand because I know life gets in the way. I have the time, but I can't take the time drawing. Now that's, sadly that right there is more of a you problem. So like if that means either what you're saying is you don't have the patience to draw, but you want to draw. Am I correct? Is that what I'm? Please tell me if I'm assuming that correctly. Yes. So, what you should do, in my opinion on that, is that you need to, one, clear your mind from any distractions. So, like, I wouldn't be in a room where you'll be distracted, like the phone, especially the phone. The phone, the TV, the video games, whatever. That's one. Or two, what you can do is try to draw something simple that doesn't take too long so it doesn't weigh on your patience, and see how many things you can draw that are simple to you in a short amount of time without trying to draw something insane or something that will take like long on hours, or you feel like it's going to take forever. So like draw something simple, and then over time that will get easier as it goes. So that's one way of doing it. I would do. If you haven't watched No Origami, you should. It's amazing. I'll give it a chance. I never got to watch it. I always wanted to watch it. I just never get the chance to actually watch it. I have it. I have the chance to watch it, like not chance. I have it on the streaming service I have, so I can always watch it later. But I never find the time to actually go and do it. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. I'm making this arm look weird, but ultimately this was focusing on this. So it's only wrinkling in certain situations where you have to be aware of the behavior of your drawing. So like for instance, you need to understand the idea that, or not the idea, but the behaviors of types of clothing. Because like the only reason why Mikey's shirt is wrinkling as much as it is, it's much looser than it is. I believe so. It is actually much more looser than what it's giving off. So Mikey's jacket, based on what I'm doing, it's more of a Japanese style robe, something like a bathrobe if anything, or a samurai robe if you can think of it that way. But like ultimately the way he has his is more of a soldier, like from the war, like the type of soldier outfit for like Japanese men. So I think it would be more on the more leather side, biker side type stuff, because this was what we had before, and then I kind of refined it a little bit to look a little bit more real. Don't mind the middle part of the shirt and stuff. This was not even the focus. I just put that there so you guys have something as a placeholder for this. So the jacket itself is the main focus. I feel like I got it right in the sense, but it could be more refined better. But like, I think we got the idea of this. Alright, well, Ingon, okay, thank you. Yeah, I would draw things that would be a lot more simpler for you to draw and doesn't weigh in onto your patience. Because not like what you're referring to is more of a patience game than anything, I would assume. Yeah, ultimately that's just a patience game. I know that's something you probably didn't want to hear, but like, I'm just being honest with you. There's so much techniques one can learn, but if you don't have the patience to apply them, you're better off not drawing at all. You gotta find the patience to, let the process take its course. Some processes are more faster than others. So like some people can actually get some process faster than others in certain situations, or probably most situations, and that's fine. But you need to make the effort to do it on your own, because there's nothing I can really, there's no, like, honestly, in all tutorial, there's no information that is there for you to like just get it. There's gonna be, it's gonna probably be an easier process, but you need to apply it. So like, that's ultimately what you need to do to get in a better headspace of where you need to be when you come to your drawings. Hey, Tori. So like, yeah. So that's my take on that. Okay, so I got most of this out of the way. Now you guys can probably see it better now. Because ultimately this is what we was trying to convey. You guys can now see it better, I think. Like that. So the character can be seen. I want to make sure that you can see it. And then we can just put like this. So you guys can see it better in that sense. So it feels more like a scarf. Where's the body? Okay, there's the body. So you can see the body easily. And if you look closely at this, you see how much space there is between there's a lot of space between the arm and the jacket. The reason being is because the jacket is thick and it's huge. It's not sucked to the body as if it was a suit that's meant to be sucked to the body. It's not. It's just literally an outfit that is like jackets are usually made to be away from the body. It does its damnedest to get away from the body, even though it's hanging on it. It just hangs on to the body, if anything. When it comes to like more fitted outfits, like a shirt or anything, it's depending on how tight you want it to be, it'll be more fitting to the body in that sense. But given that this is just a jacket, like a winter jacket you will wear to like Christmas or something like that, this is how much space you will see between the jacket and the shirt. I mean the jacket and the arm. There is such space here because we want that space to exist. You don't want it to be close to the arm and then it's not a jacket that you wear at Christmas. It's something you wear in spring. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So that's one way of looking at it. Okay. So like these are things you need to understand. Now, okay, I'm going to take a break from clothing right now. So if you guys have any other questions, I'm going to jump on the questions. So drop your question now. Those of you who are on YouTube, Twitch, or Instagram, or Twitch or YouTube, you can jump over here on TikTok and come ask your questions. You can ask your questions in the chat room, but it'll be more effective if you're over here if you want. And those of you who are brand new, I have a YouTube and Twitch and Instagram. If you guys want to join those as well, that'd be cool. But our goal is to get to 1,000 on YouTube. But guys, if you have any questions, please drop one. I have about, 2 hours left till I have to go. So if you have any questions, next or thigh. What is thigh? You mean thigh? Or next or thigh? I think that's thigh. I think. Yes, thighs. Okay, so I'll go with thighs, because I think those are going to be thighs. So always have reference, just in case. So the thigh, Depending on how you're drawing this. But let me see. So I don't have to draw the whole body like that, but we'll see. So like if I had to Is there a reason? What do you want to learn about thighs exactly? What is it about thighs you're having an issue with? Okay. Like that. That. Okay. It's not an issue per se, it's just the attachment to the body. Is there a particular body part that you're having a problem with when it comes to this so-called attachment? Like the torso. Okay, so like when it comes to the torso, always know that when you're drawing like I guess the leg, there's always a curve all the time. Like how can I put this? How can I put this in good words? Like you said, connecting them is the issue. So like I don't. How can I explain this? It's just this. It's just this top, correct? Or is the whole leg? Like the torso. Okay, so for the torso, you should always know that you should go with the bean method. The torso always. The torso always. Okay. The torso always does this thing where. A sack of beans. I don't know if that's even like coffee beans or think of beans. It's like a big sack. Like that. Can you give me some tips, because I struggle doing the legs and arms. Alright, so always know when you're dealing with the arms, the flower. Okay, wait, one thing with the arm, always should know that the side of the thumb is where the arm bounds out. So like for instance, if, let's just say, this was a hand, and then this was the thumb was here, right? When the arm is coming outwards, I learned this a while back. You know that bump like a leg, like the arm is like kind of like a leg. This side is this bump always on the side of the thumb. So always know that if you're making an arm, whenever you see a bump coming in and out like this, it's always on the same size of the thumb. Believe it or not. I know that sounds weird, but it's a real thing. Like, you can check for yourself. The bump that's on the side is where the thumb is. Should always keep that in mind. Okay. Or like when you're dealing with legs. There is a method of doing this, but I haven't done it in a while, so please forgive me. Yeah, always. That I know it's a weird thing. I kind of learned that. So if you're always having a problem where the thumb is, or how to make the bumps come out, it's always on the same side of the thumb. It's the weirdest thing. I know. I know that's like a weird tip, but it works. It's a weird thing. Now for legs, it's a leg. Like legs are literally like a giant 3. Believe it or not. How can I explain this? It's like this. Like that. The leg is always like kind of like that. Okay. Alright. So it's kind of like that. It's just loading. What the hell? Oh. So like it's like it's kind of like that. Okay. Just like that. It's literally a 3. That's what it is. Like 1, 2, and then you go up. It's like a B. It's a letter B when you stop and think about it with a bump. It's a letter B with a bump. You stop and think about it. Like I can show you like. Like if you stop and think about it, it's a letter B with a bump. That's literally what a leg is. You stop and think about it. Like that. Thank you for the love, I appreciate it. How do you find motivation to draw and practice? My bad if you answered some. No, it's alright. I'm very cognizant that I'm gonna get the same questions a lot, so it's okay. You're perfectly fine. The way to find time to practice is either based on what you want and what you can. So if you really want to draw, you can find time to draw. There's no such thing as too busy. Believe it or not. There is no such thing as too busy. You're never really too busy for someone or something. It's either that right now you're doing something, but in 2 minutes you're not going to be doing that thing for the next 10 hours. It's impossible. Like even CEOs have time to do stuff, even when they say they don't. Like the time, like, okay, so let's, for instance, say you're at work, right? And you have to, you got a lunch break. Within your lunch break, grab a little napkin and do some little doodles. There you go. Or like, for instance, you go to work, you're at school and you're doing a test. You finish the test and you give it to your teacher. Instead of just sitting there being on your phone, do some doodles. You see what I'm saying? Or if, say, you're with a bunch of your friends, instead of just randomly drawing, make a game out of it. See who can draw best. Or if you can't get someone to draw best because everyone's gonna be self-conscious because their art style ain't up to par or some shit, what you can do is the hand-me-down challenge is when I make a drawing, say like a square, right? And I give my square to XJ9 right now. I pass it on to her, and then she makes a drawing on top of my drawing, and then you pass on to Chris, and then he does a drawing on top of the drawing of what XJ9 did upon mine, and we all go in a circle and see where we can go with the drawing and stuff like that. Okay, I get it now. Thanks. No problem. It feels like there's a mountain of info to learn sometimes, and it can be demotivating if you're. It's only demotivating. It's only demotivating when you're taking on way too much. I tell this to my students all the time. Stop trying to do 1,010 things. Don't try to learn how to. I don't know. Like, don't try to paint, and then you're trying to do line art next second, and then you're trying to, I don't know, draw apes or something. When you never even practice drawing apes. You know what I'm saying? Take some time. Take your time. Take your time. Don't try to take on every little thing. That's what happens that's how my students tends to burn out. You don't do that. Just pick something that interests you and have fun with it. So, for instance, let's just say you want to get into anime. Fine. If you want to get into anime, focus on one thing at a time. If you like how eyes look, practice how to draw anime eyes. Only for like 30 days. Okay? There's so many different eye variations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Or like, it's so many of them. Like, you can, and then you can pick what you like most and keep that as a thing for you. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't know. It's only overwhelming when you make it overwhelming. Nothing's truly overwhelming if you just don't take your time. That's all that is. Okay? So like, draw anime eyes for like 30 days, and then, or like even 2 months only. And then when you're done with the 2 months and you feel so well versed on all angles on how to draw an eye or a pair of eyes, then draw heads. You know what I'm saying? Just draw heads for 2 months. Okay? Learn how to draw heads. Okay? And then it'll get easier as it goes. But when you're trying to take on 10,001 things and then you start saying my art style and shit, that is irritating. I hate when people do that. They'll be like, oh, I'm not at my level because my art style. Like, you don't have an art style. Because you know you don't have an art style when you have to constantly make excuses that your art style ain't somewhere. Your art style is disguised as your handwriting. As a kid, we develop our handwriting over doing A, B, C, 1, 2, 3s, and sentences, okay? And after years of practicing doing this, or you don't have to be years, so don't worry, you don't have to be like Picasso. You don't have to be years. It could be a few months, of weeks, whatever case may be, but it depends on how dedicated you are, okay? So don't worry about, oh, my art style. People worry about that way too much. And that's what gets people... No, stop worrying about your art style. That shit is not that serious. Your art style comes along eventually by itself. This is why I always bring up the 5 P's. Practice. My students know what I mean by this. Practice. And then practice with persistence. Persistence. Okay? Persistence, and then you get if you're doing both of these, you get progress. That comes along with those two. Progress leads to perfection. And oh, I forgot the other one. Perfection. And then the ultimate P. You go plus ultra instinct. What does that mean? That literally means you're so good at the 1, 2, 3, 4 that your plus ultra so-called instinct, I know this is cringe to say this, but your plus ultra instinct will be, I'm so well versed in that thing that when it comes up, it's never a second thought. The perfection part is when you have a good understanding of the concept. The plus ultra part is when you have such a second to third nature towards it, it doesn't even bother you if anyone say, can you draw this, can you draw that, can you draw something that you never draw before, okay? So that's what that is. Bro, what y'all draw me? Yeah, I get what you mean. I have a habit of trying to do, yeah, don't do multiple, that's what happens, you don't get anything. Ever heard the saying, what is it goes, master of all and master of none, I think. If you know everything, you don't know nothing. You know a lot of skills, but you don't know how to use them. Or you're aware of a bunch of skills, but you don't know how to use them properly. It's like that. Beerus sent you, like, oh, thank you, Beerus. Draw me, I'll be your reference. You're funny. Cool boy is Goku. It's just Goku. It's just Goku. But I'm just saying, like, that's what literally what that is. Art style is a handwriting. People think an art style is something you go and find. You don't find an art style. You just don't. You develop one, but you don't find one. And when I say find one, I know you guys are not like looking on your couch, but like it doesn't magically come to you after all years of practice. It comes with you after years of developing it by learning, understanding concepts that makes it easier for you to understand, so you can apply them to whatever you're trying to do, to whatever project or where a case may be, or so. Oop. Actually, I'm gonna do this over again. I don't mind drawing Goku right now. So that's what a art style is. I don't even have an art style myself, because I'm still trying to develop mine. Because I may have some years of practice, but I have not put in the extra work that I should for me to get to where I need to be. I mean, that's what I mean. So like, an art style is a handwriting in disguise. So when people sit there and say my art style is not X, Y, and Z, that just proves to me that you are not practicing. You're not putting the dedicated work towards it. You're just saying that because you're using it as a way to feel special. And you'd be surprised how many people use that excuse. I'll get there one day when my art style gets there, or I'm not really there because my art style is not there yet. I'm like, don't worry about that. That shit is not important. It is not. It's like equal of saying if I get this special brush, I'll be like Picasso. And that's what I think some beginners actually believe. If they get a special brush, they'll get somewhere in, I don't know, in digital art, which is not true. It's just a brush. It's just a tool. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. It's nothing more or it's nothing less. What people think it's this, I don't know, this magic thing. Like, they think, like, I think even some of my friends who are not really familiar with digital art, they think digital art is like, oh, you press a button and then the character pops up and then you just put some color and press a button here and there. They literally think that's what that is. Like, it's literally, that's what they think it is, and it's scary because they think, oh, I'm not doing any real art. A real artist is someone who's holding a paintbrush and getting all nasty and dirty and all that crap. That is not true. That is definitely not true. I'm not even looking at reference right now. I'm just looking. I'm just not even thinking. I'm just talking. I will put more effort into this drawing, but I'm just right now talking now. but like it's weird as hell. But if you tell them the 10 seconds to just literally do some art, they'll be blank as hell, just as like you would be blank as doing an artwork. It's funny to me sometimes. You know. This drawing is not that great. I'm not even paying attention. I need some reference so I get a better understanding of this. I'm not even paying attention right now. I'm just literally just drawing whatever I'm drawing. I'm just looking at your profile picture and just going with it. I would do a better job at this, but like I got so sunk into that conversation, it's not even funny. No, this is not, no. What am I doing? Okay, first thing, let's pull this back. I would do a better job at this. This is not good. This is not, I'm trying to teach people and I'm over here drawing like I'm on something. I don't know, what the hell. First thing, let's fix this. Okay. I'm gonna make a head first. Make a head. Ellipse tool. Okay. And then we make a line. Okay. Okay. Whoa, what the hell? I don't know why I did that. Whoa, what the hell? It's not easy. No, it's not, but I need to... This is why I'm not seeing here my art style, because that just proves I need more practice. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need more practice. People who don't admit that you need practice tends to be the ones who get angry mad when you... Angry mad. Are usually the ones who are quick to get upset when you criticize their work. Because they're trying to find an excuse why they're not good enough. Just admit you're not good enough and then just get better. That's all you can do. The best step is admitting that you have a problem. Once you know you can admit your problem. It's like a big, like I'm over here trying to teach y'all, and I have struggle times when I'm doing this. I have no issue telling you guys that. That's why I don't consider myself a professional like that. I wish I was. And I know I'm not, but like, if I have information that can help you, I don't see why I can't explain. I try to get good at art. You can do it. You can do it. Anyone can get into art. Anyone can get good at art. It's just that you need to either find the time, don't make any excuses, and then just, you know, just do it. And I think the problem with art is that people try to get themselves in the mood, and I think that's the worst. I think you have to literally force yourself to get into it. Like, not force yourself, but force yourself to get the drawing. I think we get so hooked up on, I have a YouTube video to help me, that we don't really get around to it anymore, because we can say, oh, but the YouTube video is always going to be there, so it's not like I'm paying for this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm paying it for, like, college or something, or there's no deadline. So there's no need for me to actually put all that effort, because even if I get so good at it, people are gonna, and I've seen people do this, they'll get very good at what they're doing now, and then they'll do this thing where they'll self-defecate on themselves. They'll like, okay, I got to where I need to be. Says that about yeah, but like, people say that they'll get to like a point of a lot better than they originally were, and then they'll say, well, no one's gonna buy or look at my shit anyway, so what's the big deal? I'm like, why would, then if you really believe that no one's gonna look at your shit, why did you even bother? You're just self-defecating so you don't have to face the disappointment if someone doesn't like your shit. Like, for instance, they don't have to say anything evil. A lot of beginners tend to do this thing where they'll post their art like the very first time and expect to get 1,010 views on the first try. Especially if the drawing they like came out pretty well for themselves, they'll do that crap a lot. And then they'll get very depressed and get overthink. You know how many times I posted...
Okay, we're not going to do anything. I know that for sure. But, for my birthday, we asked for food or money.
Wait, why are you saying that?
I asked you, what should I do?
Wait, why are you talking about this?
Because I want to figure it out now. I'm going to they come to like, oh, we can't do
I was gonna ask tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, but they was already having a mask on the face. I'm like, I don't think it makes sense to act when they're right now trying to clean up and he's outside. So I was like, nah.
I don't think we'll go in.
What makes you say that?
They say anything outside is considered necessity. That's not a necessity.
I understand. I'm gonna ask anyway just to see. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna say no anyway, but I'm gonna just see.
But, which one? Food or money?
How much money?
Most likely they maybe squeeze out maybe $70 out of them.
What kind of food?
I'll go for shrimp, stuff like that.
How are you gonna get that?
Trust me, I know my methods.
I don't know, I swear. I witnessed. Yeah, everyone says that, but lie. I witnessed. What do you mean you witnessed? I don't know what I'm doing. Where's your phone? Give me your phone. And I'm just got lost in what I was talking about. That I'm not focusing on what I'm doing. I need your phone, okay? Anyway. But yeah, but what I'm saying is to you guys is this. Just focus on what you're doing right now and just focus on one thing for 2 months straight. You'll be surprised when you get well versed in one thing, you can get well versed in the other thing and connect them. So like for instance, if you're good at drawing torsos, right? If you're really good at drawing a torso, we have a problem drawing, I don't know, thighs. Okay? What you should do is get into drawing thighs for 30 days. 30 days to 2 months. I think the shortest you should go is 15. Draw that for each day. Draw like I'm gonna draw you, don't worry. I got you. It's just I'm waiting on the phone to come back. I need some reference right now. I'm not using my brain. But like I'm saying, like, keep on just one thing at a time. You'll be surprised how fast you'll get faster where you need to be when you just focus on one thing at a time. Because what happens is we focus on so many things at once. Because we live in a digital age where everything is kind of like we live in a time where everything is like, to our TikToks, to our YouTubes, to our foods, to everything. So no one has no sense of like patience, and I think that's extremely scary because, and I'm not gonna lie, I am a victim of this too, but like I came from an era a little before the internet came around, and reading books, and you know, not saying people don't read books now, but like reading books and finding a book and finding stuff it's different now compared to it's different back then than it was back now. Right? I'm still a 90s kid in a sense, but like I'm just saying, I'm not saying that 90s kids are just these super patient people because the internet wasn't around. I'm just saying like things are just different, and because we're so used to getting our shit like instantly, the problem lays in our attention span. Why do you think something like TikTok is such a hit now? Because people's attention spans used to be from like, if you can measure it from YouTube algorithms back then was like probably 30 minutes back in the day, and then it went from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. I mean 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and then YouTube videos ended up being favored for 10 minutes. And then anything lower than that, it's not considered a YouTube video. And then when things like Vine and TikTok came around, that's where
Is it even on? Check.
like the few second mark, that's where things really went left. And then when people like Logan Paul and all these people tend to make a career out of just making seconds out of videos, that's where every young person said, okay, fuck being a YouTuber, let me just be a Viner. Or that doesn't exist, but be a Viner. And then when Vine died, and then it took itself, not itself to revive, but the idea of Vine came back, as in musically to TikTok. Now everyone's trying to be the next TikTok star, even though it doesn't pay you as much. What they do, they pay you every 1,000 views for every 3 cents, which is really low, because advertisements don't know how to advertise to people on TikTok with only like 9 seconds of worth, your time, or even 15 seconds. Like, actually no, 9 seconds. I think it's from, like, if I had to guess, between 5 to 9 seconds. How do you market an insurance company to adult within 5 to 9 seconds? That's very, very, very difficult. How can I sell you my Allstate insurance in 9 to 5 seconds? It's really, really difficult, unless you have such an effective video that is so recyclable to the point that no matter how many times I use it, you guys are gonna get it, especially if it's going to be over the years or so. So that's where TikTok kind of suffers, and they're paying their content creators who pass 10,000. I'm now in the content creating thing, but I know for a fact I'm not going to make any big bank money anytime soon. Even if right now, if I made 1 million, if I made like 1 million like views right now, I think that would literally graduate to $20. I think, if I remember right. 1 million views literally equals to $20 on TikTok. Just to let you guys know that. I think 1 million views on YouTube equals to at least 2,000 something dollars, at least. Switch to Geico and save 15% or more on car insurance. Exactly. So that's where the problem lays here on TikTok. So the way I look at TikTok, don't worry, I'll go back to art. I'll go back to art, don't worry. I'm not gonna just go off. TikTok is a funnel, people. It's a funnel. No, I think funnel spelled like this. It's a funnel. That's what TikTok truly is. If you have several, she liked that. I read it right. TikTok is a funnel for your other social medias, for your your YouTube, your Twitch, your your Twitch, your what else? What other thing? Your Facebooks, like all these are for your social medias. That's what TikTok really is the ultimate funnel. Because the reason why it is, because remember, it only takes a few seconds for someone to make a decision to say yes or no, right? It's like the subscribe button is literally like an inch away from your thumb. So like you must be doing something really wrong if you're doing, like, if you're making a lot of content. Let's say you made like 110 content and you only have like 10 followers, right? You are really doing something wrong if you have over 200 pieces of content. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. Like, XJ9 is a perfect example of this. She's right here, Bean right here. She has about 8,000 followers right now. And she tries to keep an aesthetic where it either falls into cosplay or pop culture. I'm spelling this wrong. Pop culture, or somewhere around anime mainly, or I guess just Raven, that is from Teen Titans. Okay, so she falls in one of these categories. Just a main account stuff, whatever I like. Yeah, so, but if you want to really build, for those of you who are trying to get into the TikTok scene, pick a genre. So if, like, for instance, anime, do only anime related content, whether it be memes, songs,
Somebody.
edits. And when I say edits, I'm talking about those aesthetic anime, I don't know, OVA type, MVA type of stuff, MAV type of stuff on TikTok. You can get a lot of views with that. Or you can do, I don't know, live action type, like skits. Live action skits. They could be funny, they could be really serious, they could be stupid, they could be whatever you want it to be. But as long as it falls under the moniker of anime, that's fine. But sometimes being under a genre is not good enough. Sometimes you gotta subgenre that. You need a sub into it. So what is subgenre for those of you who don't know? That means it's under the moniker of anime, but you're doing only Demon Slayer. I'm using an example. Demon Slayer content only. No Naruto. No DBZ or DBS. Not DBZ, whatever the fuck. DBS. None of that. You're just doing Demon Slayer only. That is a subgenre. Because you're only stuck on that particular thing in that genre only. Okay? Somebody once told me the world's gonna rule me. Go crazy! She says go crazy. So, like, if you guys are having a hard time, so, like, for instance, most of you are here for art, so don't worry, I'm not trying to give you a whole business lesson on this. So, like, if you guys are artists, like I am, just post. I would suggest when to post. I don't think there's even a time when to post. I think that's a lie. I think you just pick a schedule for you and make sure to post on that schedule. So, like, if I post every 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Then what about my thing I've been doing?
Twice a day. But lately I have not posted on TikTok or Instagram because I haven't made no content. I've been too busy working on other projects and also focusing on my art for animation down the line. So that's been taking up my time. So if you guys are wondering, why is he not posting any new, like, I don't know, tips, tricks, speed arts? It's just, I'm doing animation. I'm trying to learn it so I can make it for TikTok. I feel like that will be a lot more beneficial to me and to y'all too, because one, it'll entertain y'all, and two, it'll benefit me in the long run, because making speed arts are great at all, but it's not cutting it. It's not, speed arts are not cutting it. No, they're not cutting it. Jennifer Santiago. So check her out over there. She has her art stuff. Jennifer Santiago has a bunch of art stuff. I know for a fact. She draws here and there on that account. So, like, what you want to do is find something that, if you enjoy doing speed arts, do it, if that makes you happy. But if you want to get views, if you want to get eyes on your profile, or what a case may be, I suggest I'm not saying do what's popular, but do what works. Okay? So, like, number one thing that works is animation. The reason why is because, one, animation is not only just hard to produce, but it's, well, depending on what you're trying to do. Okay. If you're doing 3D animation...
Thank you for stopping by.
I'll be out now. Okay, later, bro. Wait, did you ever give me the phone?
No, I was doing my thing.
You gotta give me the freaking phone! I was waiting on doing the drawing while I was talking. Shit. That's why I'm just here stalling, trying to wait on you to give me the thing. Shit. Anyway, so... animation works because I noticed that anything animated tends to do much better than just doing a drawing. Because the drawing's stiff and that's it. That's pretty much what don't you need this?
No.
A drawing.
finished.
Okay, so like a drawing mainly is just a drawing, but if you can get to animation, or you can do those still animation where
Drawmations.
where what?
Drawmations.
You can do those drawmations where you draw something and you put them in certain situations and stuff like that. You don't have to do any animating at all. Those tend to do pretty popular, but you have to make sure that you have the right audio cues to make that work, or so. If you don't, then it is what it is. So, if you want to get your name... I hate saying that term. I hate saying this sentence.
What?
If you want to get your so-called name out there, I hate that. I hate that saying.
Yeah.
It's such a cringe thing.
Yeah.
I suggest practice. When you get to a point of practice and you feel good at what you're doing, apply it to whatever you want to learn. To animation or so. I think that will be beneficial to anyone who wants to get into the animation industry or want to get into art. Or if you don't want to get in either, you can just do it as a way to promote yourself. And not only that, you can lead your animation to your YouTube channel. Because if you have a TikTok, 9 times out of 10, you may have a YouTube for that. Or my @ my kitty god. Okay, there you go. So yeah, our kitty god 492. So that's something you can find. So that's pretty much it. So that's my business lesson of today. I'll get back to what I was doing. I gotta do what I do best. I can't be talking too much. I know you guys hate it when I talk too much. So I'll get to the point. So he wanted me to draw Goku. I don't know if he actually left, but I guess I'll give it a try. Maybe in my own way. Am I drawing in my own way? I don't know yet. It's weird. Oh my god, I hate you, yo. Wait, whoa. Can I just get in? Will that let me in? Oh my fuck. Okay, nope, I'm not doing this. Goku. I typed in Goku. Okay, there we go. So today, I think I hit it hard enough with the whole clothing thing. We all know that I just gotta list these when I write these down. This is very important when it comes to clothing. Clothing. Oh my god, I wrote that. Clothing. Not liking that. Clothing. Number one, the type of clothing you're dealing with. Whether it be a jacket, like say for instance a jacket, I don't know, a sweater. Hello, I think of Miami. I like the doggy. Sweater, shirt. Okay. Now, we need to understand the weight of that. I'm just doing this a quick lowdown of this. I don't think I'm going to talk about this again on Thursday. I think we're going to talk about something else. I think we're just going to do a bunch of... I think you guys miss it when I draw a bunch of girls, so I might do a bunch of girl poses and stuff. We're going to do a lot of anatomy work. Okay? I got an hour till now, so... I really love your drawing. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Miami. I think if you want me to say Miami? I know you don't really have an I at the end. You put the 1, but I don't know if you want me to still refer to you as Miami. So next week, Thursday coming, we're not gonna talk about clothing again because I think I hit the nail hard on its head enough on that. I think everyone's sick of it now. I think you guys want me to either. I'll give you guys an option. I'll put it up on Instagram, so it gives you guys incentive to give me some interaction. So if you want to see this Thursday coming, we're gonna talk about anatomy, or we're gonna do a fan art. I'll do either fan art, anatomy, or what else? What the fuck? What else? Poses, I guess. That'll be still fall under anatomy, I guess. But if I'm do, I guess anatomy will be under like just body parts. Poses will be literally just doing female poses. I'll put male poses, or I'll put fan art. Alright, that's fine. Hello, Noah. I got you, Miami. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Weight means how thick... Well, we need to know the weight of your jacket, or your sweater, or your shirt, because that does make a difference. Because if the shirt is heavy, then let's just say the shirt is heavy, then it might be thick. 9 times out of 10, it might be really thick. So the weight might end up in its thickness. So it's thick or thin. Okay, so if it's thick, then 9 times 10 is going to be heavy. If it's thin, then it's not heavy. Okay, so if it's not heavy, then it's going to wrinkle a lot because it's really thin. If it is heavy, then it's going to wrinkle less. It's going to compress more, I think. Less. It's okay, you call me. Can you teach me how to draw perspectives? Maybe I should add that in the thing. So in perspectives, you need, and then, well, first, before I get that, you need to know your weight, your thickness, and then the gravity. If you get to the gravity, then you're pretty much at the end of this. So, and because if you understand if something will wrinkle a lot, you know when you're moving it's going to wrinkle a lot. And then you know the direction of that. I mentioned that many times with the cylinders. Remember with the cylinders, when you see the bottom of the cylinder, you go the opposite. Oh no. Oh shit, I was about to say I thought I lost power. Woo! That saved me. I thought I lost power. Oh my god, that is not... Oh my god. Okay, I thought... okay, so... Right here, you always see the bottom. That means you're going up top. If you see the top, 9 times out of 10, you're going to the bottom. If you're not going to either one and it's neutral, like you're literally staring at it from eye level, then I don't think it will either wrinkle. It will wrinkle or it won't. Either one. I think it will just compress, in my opinion. And when I see compressed, that means there's no wrinkles. No wrinkles. But it's possible for it to wrinkle, so that's mostly like a choice on your end. So that's pretty much it. So I think we knocked out the idea of clothing. How long have I been drawing? I've been drawing since I was 6, but I didn't take it serious. I was 22, 23 or so. Alright, so with perspective, perspective is a very tricky thing to teach. You know, I have a hard time dealing with it. Depending what it is, like for instance, if you're trying to draw a head in perspective, I think the best way to do this is use squares. So you use a square to make a better decision on how the perspective works on your character. Alright, so you make the lumens method, but you go along with the idea of the head, right? And then what happens, you can make eye here, like eye here, and it what the square does is keep things in perspective because the lines tell you which way the eyes are going, you know what I'm saying? Or so I'm doing this sloppy, but like if you do this literally with the idea of the box, then you can actually get away with a lot if you can use the box as an advantage to make alignment with the body itself. So like if you use the box to make alignment with the body itself, it gets easier to understand. Okay, like you can make a whole box here. Like there is methods of doing this, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, most people are not trying to use every, like, okay, I don't think professionals are out here using guidelines like that. Most professionals don't even use guidelines. They're so used to using the guidelines so much to the point that they don't use it anymore because they understand how to use them. Okay, but you should learn how to use guidelines for now because that's what they're for. They're there to teach you. Okay, they're not there to like harm you, and they're not there to actually confuse you. If you're confused, then that just means you need time. What is your favorite thing to draw? That's a very good question. I can't even say I have a favorite thing to draw because I've been so wrapped up in drawing things. I don't really have a favorite. I think my favorite thing to draw is when something come out right. That's literally what that is. I'm not even gonna lie. Literally, that, like, my favorite thing to draw is when something comes out right. Like, that's literally what that is. I have no favorite literal drawing. It's just if it came out correct. So, I think that makes sense, right? That makes sense, right? I think that makes sense. I think that makes some sense. I think it makes sense. But yeah. But like, if you're using perspective, you can use the box, or you can use a horizon line. I'm pretty sure you've seen this before, where you put a horizon line and you take the vantage point, the VP, the vantage point. You make a literal like box, and then what you do is you make a long line with the box that you made to the vanishing point, and then you cut it off from wherever you want, and then you connect it to where it makes sense. And then once you do that, you erase all this, and then you got yourself a box in perspective going towards the vanishing line, because lines tend to I think the word is congruent. They end up being congruent with one another, I think. Is it congruent? Or they tend to be parallel, and then they eventually converge into this circle, into that very point. That's what they converge. They converge into that very point. So, for instance, if I put a box here, right now, and do the same exact thing, connect all the dots, just only where it sees the sides, right? And then the bottom here, and then here, and then here, right? Then you have a box that's in the air. But there is rules to this method. There's something called the cone of vision. The cone of vision is basically where it is safe to do the drawing in a certain ratio. Okay? Think of the cone of vision like a circle. In that sense, like a literal visual circle. You have to do your drawing inside, because if you do it outside, you experience something called distorting. Distorting is when you try to, I don't know, it's not even when you try, it's when you just don't equal out everything in the right order, and because you don't do it, it looks kind of janky, it looks weird, it looks strange, it looks like your box turned into spaghetti, it looks too slanted. Ever try and make like a house out of wood and don't really do the measurements and it's slanting like this? Like, it looks really weird, and it's slanting off and it falls off. That's what that is. So when you're doing this, you have to be very careful. That's why a lot of people don't go with this method, because it gets really tedious with all that measurements. I think this only works for people who are into like who are architects. They have to do a bunch of measuring. They have to do like a bunch of measuring and a bunch of math just to make sure that the building is correct, because if they don't, then we'll have that same situation that happened a few months ago with that one building that I think collapsed. And you guys know what building I'm talking about. I don't want to mention it because it might cause trouble. So, and no, I'm not talking about 9/11. I'm talking about something way different that happened, I think, back in, I think it was in Florida. I don't remember. I think it was even in Florida, I think. Or something like that. It happened in Florida, I think. There was some building that went down. Here I was about to take college for art when I can just, yes, don't go. I'm not gonna lie to you, do not, I would not recommend, if you don't have the money to go to college art, like, if you have the money, go. And I mean have the money, I'm saying go to those art schools that is connected to like the actual industry, like Full Sail, and I think the Vry, I think that's what they're called. I think I'm saying the wrong place, but it's they work with, I don't think it's the Vry, but they work with Marvel, they work with I guess Cartoon Network. They work with other like studios and stuff like that. I forgot this name. It's somewhere in California, but I forgot his name. I don't think it's DeVry. It could be. I don't think it's how it's called. It's something else. Something of California. It's a. I think it's a university or so. And they have connections to like Marvel Studios, Disney, like all the major labels. I mean, major companies that are in the entertainment industry that needs graphic design to like video games and stuff like that. You can try those, but if you have the money, but if you don't have the money, do not do this. Just go to YouTube, or if you think you want a higher type education other than YouTube when it comes to art, go to Skillshare, or go to I don't know, Udemy. I think Skillshare is probably better. It seems like an easier interface to use compared to other what do you call it, platforms. I've used it so far and it's really helpful. I just got it recently, so I recommend Skillshare to anyone if you want to learn Skillshare. So there's that. Yeah, don't waste your time. Just like, you'll learn a lot from those hour-long videos on YouTube. But I think that's where a lot of people kind of lose themselves, because they don't want to watch an hour-long video to learn something. But that's where the real, like, enchilada is, but they don't want to do it. I don't know. Or, like, there's the one with 2-point perspective. 2-point perspective, right, like this. Where you draw something like this, and then like this, you know? Okay, Miami, why are you doing that? Is there a reason for that? Okay, so you make like a 3D model of like a box or something, and then you do like this, you know? Just like that. Okay. Just like that. Alright. There you go. And then what happens is, when you do it in three dimensions like this, if you want it to be equal, there's this method where you make the line go straight in the middle. And then what you make this line go straight in the middle, you can make an X like this. Oops. And once the X, oops, oh, that's not right. Okay, once the X, oops, I think I did it wrong. You have to, I did it wrong, hold on. Straight in the middle, like that. And then 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, no! 2. Okay, so like, for instance, if this was the dead in the middle, this with this, okay, what? I don't know why you're doing that. Okay, like that, and then what happens is, when this line hits the middle, what that is, that this is literally equal. So what happens would be, I think you can make a line through here, I think, and then you make a line down, make another line like this, and then you do it like this, and then you do it like this, and then every time you do this, it gets equal. It's actually equal every time you get more further and further and further, because it stays in the middle of the line. It's a method to keep things equal even if you're not using a ruler. So it's a weird thing. It's really cool to use for like buildings and stuff. You know? There's so many ways. Like, you can make buildings out of like 1 point. Like, literally you can make a point here. Okay. Him and he. Now you make a thing like this. Okay, and then like this. Like, you can actually make a building out of just 1 point. Like buildings, I'm saying. and it looks like they're all coming from one point when they're actually separated. So like there's ways of figuring this stuff out all the time. Okay? So, and then you can give it a forced perspective all the time. So there's always ways to getting around these type of things. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. No female. But this is the way you can get around these type of things. So like what happens is that when you're using forced perspective, always know one thing. The bigger something is, okay? The bigger something is, the smaller something gets from distance. And you can always connect them like this depending on what the size is. Right? And then you raise this. You don't even need to use a horizon line for this, but that's one way of connecting things. Like you said, like one eye, not two, be medium. So what? Wait, let me see. Like you said, like one. I thought, like one. Wait, like one. I'm not sure. Okay, like that. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. None taken. English is bad. No, you're fine. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. So